There are now scores of nations that have joined. I'm hearing about it all over talk radio, even some mainline talk radio. Another example of what one person can do with an idea. Karen Quinn-Tostado, taxfree15.com is the website. And we had her on about a month ago talking about tax day and basically a national strike, but also a time to educate ourselves about the nature of the private Federal Reserve and the fact that our taxes all go via the income tax. That tax all goes to the private central banks. The taxes go up, your so-called services go down. They were just getting you in debt before with the chicken feed. Now the services go bye-bye or are used to basically euthanize you. Karen, it's good to have you on with us.
Alex, thank you very much for having me back.
You bet. For those that just joined us or may not know about the movement, recap it for us and talk about the success and what's coming up tomorrow and the next few days.
Well, thank you. You know, since the last time we spoke, incredible things have really started to happen. With the help of dedicated Americans like yourself and activists all across this great country and the world, at taxfree15.com and our sister site in the UK at taxfree15.org.uk, we have generated a groundswell of global support from 89 nations. The website's now in the top 500,000 most visited globally, which is awesome. We have volunteers that have produced videos on YouTube. People are promoting the strike. The grassroots call-ins have been 98% supportive, and the list of alternative radio hosts on board is growing. And it's the message, though, Alex, it's the message that has resonated within the hearts and the minds of the people because the plan is simple and all of us can participate in one form or another, and this is not just an American problem. This is a global problem. So the plan is April 15th through April 18th. Now, we need to get the attention of the corporations who really believe that they own us and let them know that they don't. So, number one, no work, no school. Our future depends on restoring our rights. So folks need to plan ahead, ask for time off, use vacation days or whatever it takes, get school assignments for your children. There will be education about the Constitution and the Articles of Freedom offered at articlesoffreedom.us. Second step, if you don't think that you can stay home, if that's too big a step right now, brown bag your lunch. Because the second step and the third and the fourth are steps that you can participate in. So number two, no shopping. Don't buy a single solitary thing from large corporations. That means fast food places like McDonald's, corporate online stores. Again, plan ahead for your medications, your gas, and your food. If you have to shop, go to a mom and pop. If you go online, go to a mom-and-pop online store. This is against the corporations who are robbing us blind, folks, not against our neighbors. They are the people we need to support. The third step is don't comply. Put your savings in locally owned banks or hard assets. If you do take hard assets, make sure you get them in your possession. Or leave only what you need to cover your monthly bills. Work at getting off the grid and forming co-ops within communities. Corporations are the target, folks, not each other. We have to learn to rebuild.
And by corporations, you mean the Fortune 100, 500, the globalist.
That's exactly who I mean. And then the last step is ask why. You know, why are we here? Are we part of the problem or are we part of the solution? Because there is no other choice right now, folks. We fit in one of those categories. Why are we allowing our Constitution to be trampled?
Yeah, this is a time to be reflective, to educate others, and to repent and realize just how dire a straits we're in to kind of slow down and re-gauge what's happening.
That's exactly right, Alex. And then we pick up the telephone and we call our misrepresentatives and ask them the same questions. And we tell them that we're participating in the strike. We are watching them. They will be accountable to the Constitution and the Articles of Freedom, which will be served on the 19th, because the 19th, folks, is Patriots' Day. And a patriot is not just someone in America. A patriot is a person who loves, supports, and defends his or her country and its interests with devotion, and also they defend their individual rights against presumed interference by the federal government, but it certainly is no longer presumed. I expected you to jump in there, Alex. You've got all kinds of reasons as to why it isn't presumed.
No, you know what? I've learned to just keep my mouth shut, or I will start interrupting, because that's when I interrupt. I have all these ideas while you're talking, so I'm learning and seasoning myself to learn to keep my mouth shut sometimes. Yeah, but the bigger issue here is you've only been doing this a few months. You've got 80-plus countries involved. There's a big buzz going. And as long as every 15th we continue to use it as a time to call Congress, a time to educate others, a time to go speak at our city councils, a time to educate our children about our Bill of Rights, our Constitution, the alternative to this globalist corporate tyranny, this is, again, not a silver bullet. It's one more tool. Look at how I've promoted and helped launch We Are Change when it was just Luke Radowski. Now 300 and something chapters globally, alternative media, exposing the global warming hoax, the false flag terror hoax, the banking hoax, confronting Al Gore, David Rockefeller, New World Order minions, every day, every major city in the world now being confronted daily by We Are Change people, then uploading the video that tens of millions have seen. Other people are now mimicking the guerrilla journalism of going into events and injecting real issues, culture jamming the New World Order, short-circuiting their propaganda placement, their brainwashing placement, their behavior placement, as they call it. The act of resistance is victory, peaceably in the info war, and that's why what you're doing is so exciting. So, again, also bring other people in to the taxfree15.com movement.